Hey everybody, thanks for joining me again today. I appreciate you coming back for your first time here. I appreciate it. I'm a new YouTuber at the time, but basically, I'm just gonna go for it and just speak my mind. So today's video is basically guys are physical and women are emotional. Now, what I mean by that is that when a guy sees a woman, he's instantly attracted to her. That's just how it is. Where women, when they see a guy, they may be instantly attracted to him, but at the same time, it's going to take a little bit more than just a physical attraction. So basically, where I'm going with this is that, I've been married for about 8 years now. And the thing is that, when you're in a relationship, I believe to make it last, there's got to be a physical part and there's got to be emotional. Now, sometimes it might be one or both, but you have to have at least one. If there's nothing, that's how relationships end up ending. So I feel like sometimes you go through cold spells, maybe where guys we think, oh, she doesn't love me because we're not physical, because men, we're very physical. Where women, maybe, a guy might be going through a hard time in his life and, he may not be as emotional. And a woman's thinking, oh, he doesn't love me anymore, or he's not doing the same thing he did, in the beginning. But the reality is, it's just men are physical and women are emotional. This is how it is. Now, it's not every person in the world. Come on now, let's be realistic. Some guys, are not as physical. Not every woman, is emotional. Some women are cold. That's just how it is. But in general, that's just how it is. Women, that's just how they are, and guys, that's how they are. So how can you help with this? The whole point of this video is that guys, you have to make an emotional connection with a woman if you want to be in a long-term relationship. How do you do that? Very, very simple. Very, very simple. All you have to do is just let the woman come to you. Now, I'm not talking about, not approaching women. You should approach women definitely. What I mean though is that once you approach a woman and you go on a date or two, or whatever your arrangement is, after a while you have to let her come to you. You don't want to be calling her a million times and sending her all these texts and stuff. That actually is a waste of time. You don't want to do that. Actually, it's funny. I actually have this book right here. Great book. This actually was recommended to me by a YouTuber called Entrepreneurs in Cars. Very, very good book. And in this book, he actually talks about, courting women, dating women, and, basically, like I said, being on your purpose. All guys should chase their purpose. And if you're a woman watching this, you too, chase your purpose. If you sit there and you concentrate all your time on like one guy or maybe two guys, like I said, all you're going to do is waste a lot of time that you could be spending on doing something constructive or productive. So basically, all I'm saying is that you want to spend your time, with the people that actually care about your time. So there's a saying, they say, I think it's people that mind don't matter, people that matter don't mind. So the person you're dating, are you always on, eggshells with that person? Do you feel like you can't talk to them about everything because they get kind of butthurt about stuff? And if the answer to those questions are, yes, then maybe you should reconsider another person. The thing is that we all have been in relationships, and we like to think that the person we're with is going to last forever. Now, of course, yes, that would be great if they last forever, but the reality is nothing lasts forever. So even if you're with this ideal person that's perfect, and you guys finish each other's sentences, you like the same movies, and you can talk for hours, the reality is that people over time they change, they evolve. So if you're in a relationship with somebody, or if you're a woman or a guy, it's gonna evolve. That's just how it is. So as a couple, you have to change together. So a quick story. I know that like me and my wife when we first met. So in the reality is that I'm gonna say this. So basically, when we first met, my wife, she wasn't the greatest cook. I love her to death. Hope she doesn't say anything about this video. But she knew that, when we have kids and stuff, that's going to be something that she's going to have to do. So it took her a while, but, over a couple of years, she's become an amazing cook, but she took the time to put in to do it. Me, I wasn't always, an emotional person. Me, unfortunately, my background is, I love my mom, but, she wasn't always, there for me emotionally. That's a whole nother video. But the reality is that's carried over to my adulthood. So I've had to actually, work on myself and become more emotionally, attached, just because, for my wife. But the thing is, we both had things we had to work on. You had to grow. And another thing I did was, I waited to even think about marriage. A lot of times, some people, they go out, they decide they meet a woman and they go, oh, she's beautiful and I want to be married to her and have kids. And I'm going to tell you this, guys, don't do it. Do not do it. I don't care how beautiful that woman is. Wait. You need to get to know her. And women, same thing. This guy, he might be, very financially set. He might be a very good looking guy, great genes and everything, but you need to take your time to get to know this person. The reason why is because even like in this book that I just showed you, it does take a while to really get to know somebody. I didn't really get to know my wife until about 2.5 years in. Some things happened. But the point is that I didn't get to really see who she was until 2.5 years into a relationship. I mean, I like who she is. I love her, but it came to my realization that she's not perfect. And that's the point. Nobody is perfect. But the reality is that, you got to understand women, when you're with a guy, guys are just physical. So if we come off sometimes as cold or non-emotional, it has nothing to do with you. That's just how men are. And guys, and women, you're doing all this stuff because I know there's some guys. I mean, I actually have a friend like that thinks, they could just buy women stuff and, be, nurturing to them and basically, supportive. And that's great emotionally. But the reality is that a woman, she wants you to be a man. So if you act like that, unfortunately, you're going to get ghosted. So it's nothing wrong with being physical, guys. Be physical. Just like I said, you just have to understand a woman's nature, and sometimes you got to pull back if you're just all about the physical. You got to let that woman come to you. So, in closing, I'm gonna say this. Men, we're physical and logical. Women are emotional and methodical. And you could debate me on that if you want to, but that is the truth. That's the very truth. Women, like I said, they have sometimes weeks, months of planning when it comes to a guy. A woman sometimes will hold out to get the guy that she wants and maybe keep a guy around that she just maybe needs at the time. Because unfortunately, there's some women, I know some people, I'm not going to say their names. Actually, I have a personal person that I know about. But this particular person has never been single. They always basically, they talk about that book I just showed you, Monkey Branch, and she always has somebody lined up. She just does not be single. I don't know if it's like maybe something emotional, like she just doesn't like to, feel alone. But I feel like, because she's never been alone, she's never really got to know herself. And I think that everybody should go through a period where at least they're alone for a little bit just to get to know who you are as a person. Because, basically, how can you make somebody else happy if you don't know what makes yourself happy? And people think sometimes I want to meet this magical, great person, and this person is going to make me so happy, and I'm going to forget all my problems. But the reality is that there's nobody out there like that. Whoever you meet or whoever you're with now, they have problems, and the next person, they're going to have problems. That's just how it is. But you got to ask yourself, are you bringing to the relationship or taking? I'm actually reading another book right now by Corey Wayne called 3% Man. And one thing he talks about in his book is how you should come into a relationship to give. If you're in a relationship just to take, unfortunately that person at some point is going to run out of stuff to give. And if all you would do was there to do was to take, then, ultimately, you're going to move on, and you're going to keep moving. You're going to go through a lot of people. And unfortunately, like I said, you should go to a relationship to give, not to take. So, in closing, like I said, guys, be physical. Women, be emotional. That's just who you are. Don't fight it. But the thing is, you got to understand each other's nature, because the thing is that men, like I said, when we see a woman, we just know instantly if we're attracted to her. So what I'm saying is that a guy could basically, see a woman. The woman could have half a brain. She could be, super annoying. But guys will tolerate that if she's super freaking hot, man. I'm a victim of that too. Now, of course, I've gotten older. It's not that easy, but I've been a victim of that too. And women, they'll see a guy and he may be really attractive, but that just kind of gets you in the door. So on a scale of like 1 to 10, right? Let's just say 1 to 10. So looks for a woman might be like a 5, maybe even a 6 at the most. Okay? But the reality is that maybe that guy comes up and starts talking to her, but if he's not really doing anything with his life, or he just, not acting very manly, she's gonna instantly get turned off from him. And all his looks are not gonna matter. So, like I said, what you gotta understand is that men and women are just different. I'm actually gonna make another video about that. So thanks for joining me today. And like I said, I have much more videos coming. I'm sorry about the editing. It will get better. Like I said, I'm a new YouTuber at this point. So I'm just doing my best. And like I said, I'm just going off the top of my dome and just spitting stuff the best that I can. So if you have any questions, leave stuff in the comments, or, just if you want to if you just want to rant about something, I'll see if I can get back to you. I work a full-time job right now, and I'm still working on this book. But like I said, thanks for joining me, and hope you come back. See you later.